The Gravesend seaside is where Hallo comes to read and to think. He's a quiet, reflective 19-year-old of Kurdish origin who arrived alone in Britain from Calais 2 years ago as a refugee.
Sorry, the light's not working. Really nice room.
Now he lives in this single room in a shared terrace house.
Everything in the house.
How long did it take before your room in England started feeling like home?
Whenever you think about your home, you think about your parents, you think about your family. And when you are not with your family, when you're alone, it's kind of different. But I can say in here, this is my home, and if I ever be with my family, that is my genuine home.
Do you think about them a lot?
They're always in my mind, they're my blood, and I love them more than anything else.
Kent has seen an unprecedented rise in the numbers of child asylum seekers. There are 730 here at the moment, double the figure from March. The council says despite Home Office funding, they face a £6 million shortfall. Adult asylum seekers are distributed across the country, but unaccompanied children have to be looked after where they first arrive.
That is putting enormous burdens on our foster care system, on providing accommodation for the older ones that are capable of living independently, the health service, school provision, post-16 college provision in our county. And we really are up to the limits and are working with national government, hopefully, on a national dispersal system because we cannot contain those numbers indefinitely.
Did you go to school?
With social services stretched, the Red Cross help young refugees adjust to life in Britain and to make sense of the complex asylum process. For many, it's the first time they've left their families.
We take scared children who've not been here before, between 50 to 19 years old, who've been through a lot, and we teach them life skills, we teach them how to integrate in the community, we make them more resilient. And the end product of that is future citizens who are productive. So it's good for them and it's good for the UK.
Jonathan, whose identity we're protecting, is a 17-year-old Eritrean who arrived here 2 months ago, hiding beneath a lorry from Calais. He saw even worse scenes passing through Libya.
If you talk or if you speak about anything, already the Libyan person is killed. So I saw most of Eritrean people is lost in Sahara, and in Libya most are killed. It's very dangerous.
Once a child refugee arrives in Kent, they're sent to the Millbank Reception Centre in Ashford for 6 to 8 weeks. If they're under 16 or a girl under 18, they're placed with foster families.
So the pasta's ready now?
The pasta's ready now.
If they're a 16 or 17-year-old boy, they're then put in houses with 3 or 4 others, like this one Hallo still lives in. Rent is free, they get around £40 a week, and they're assigned a social worker to help them until they're 18. I see all the photos that you have on the wall here. You look very young here. How old were you? Zarif is from Afghanistan. He remembers his time in Millbank fondly, but authorities disputed the age of others with him. Zarif still believes they were children.
That guy, that he was 16. Last year they refused it from him. He was 16, and they didn't accept his age as well. So this just after 2 weeks they sent him back to Pakistan.
Sometimes ages of young asylum seekers aren't clear, so the council have to work them out. Doing so compassionately yet responsibly is one of their many challenges. Zarif has been here 2 years, but now he's 18, he's going through the adult asylum process. He's appealing a Home Office decision to send him to Afghanistan. They can't deport him to his hometown as it's considered too dangerous, but are trying to send him to Kabul, even though he doesn't know anyone there.
I don't know about decision. I'm still waiting. It's 3 months ago. So I'm still waiting for my decision. But of course, it's very difficult for me. It's very hard. You know, I don't have no one there. How I can go there? And they accept my case. They're killing people. You know, at that time I was like 12, 13 years old. How you say like some people in front of you, they're killing someone. So that's very hard, isn't it? Like you go in school and some, you know, they're just shooting us.
Hallo has been granted refugee status. He's a volunteer in the local library, just did an internship at a Swiss bank and goes to college in London. Others I spoke to, though, were at times frustrated at the difficulties they face in learning English. Very few colleges will teach them, and with numbers rising, many can't get places. Like Jonathan, all the teenagers I met were keen to start learning and keen to start working.
I want to learn. Language is a power, you know?
And what do you want to do here in the future?
I want a doctor or engineer.
Others in Kent are also thinking about what the future holds for young refugees here. Many in this quiet street in Whitstable are furious at plans to turn this abandoned care home for the elderly into another reception centre for around 35 child asylum seekers. Some parents have even taken their children out of the local nursery and primary school next to the centre.
You know they've got to go somewhere, but right in the middle of this little housing estate and a school and the nursery, it seems a silly place to put it.
I don't feel I have a responsibility for somebody else's children. And whether they're English, I mean our kids can't get work now as it is, and yet they're bringing people in who are going to take our children's work in the future.
I mean, so many people just get away.
Back in Gravesend, I asked Hallo how he feels about the resentment at times directed towards refugees.
When somebody needs help, you should go and help them. And I think the people who got genuine reasons to be in this country needs to be helped. You need to give them a hand to stand on their feet and, you know, to have a life like other people, to live a life like everyone else. They deserve it.
Few of the children arriving in Kent as refugees have any idea what life here is like, but they hope it's somewhere they can eventually call home.